But that was just one of my many business opportunities I'm going after right now. Because now that the Diddy trial is in full swing, I've just been getting bombarded with absolute garbage and reaction videos to things that either were actually said in regards to the case or totally made up shit. And I understand that we're in what some refer to as the attention economy. However, I think that it's just bad practice to command that attention and not have any business behind it. Like, okay, maybe you can make some ad revenue off those videos, but do you think that Pepsi wants to advertise on a video that is talking about Puffy using pina colada butt lotion on some guy? No, of course not. The videos are going to be age restricted and you're not going to make anything off them. And me, since I've already studied the works of Tony Robbins and am a graduate of Andrew Tate's Hustlers University, I put my thinking cap on and came up with some real ways to invest in the Diddy trial that I'm going to share with you right now. And no matter what the outcome may be, guilty, not guilty, I'm still going to get paid. Now, this is my business idea, the first one, in case he's found guilty. And I know the DVD market has softened, let's say, over the past 15 years or so. But the Diddy case and the trial is creating the perfect confluence of events to make it a real asymmetric bet to start producing DVDs for the hood again. And if you're not familiar with the previous decades of culture, there used to be these DVDs produced about rap beefs, or there'd be some criminals reminiscing about the rise and fall of their drug empire, and it'd be narrated by Ving Rhames or some mixtape DJ, or it'd be a documentary like Cocaine Cowboys. or the And One mixtapes where members of the crowd would start to crip walk after someone did a dunk for some reason. And for sake of creating a total category for this, let's just lump them all into the term hood DVDs. And one common theme in this category was interviewing a bunch of random black guys who were usually surrounded by their boys, who were usually armed, and they were wearing bandanas on their face. And they were all, quote, repping their hood/city. Now, I think it's time we bring back this little genre of film. Strike while the Diddy name is hot in these streets. So the Diddy edition DVDs will have a bunch of guys bragging in the streets. That's still going to be a common theme. But this time they're going to be showing off their collection of baby oil and toys as a way to prove just how hood they are. Back in the day, we couldn't have this sort of behavior, right? Back then, there was the same segment of the rap/black communities. It was pretty homophobic, let's say. But come to find out, allegedly, legally speaking, a lot of these rappers and gangsters were a little sweet, if you catch my drift. And while I don't have a problem with that, of course, you can't be putting out that hyper-masculine facade and be all Hawaiian Punch in your personal life. You go to one freak off and suddenly you're sweeter than Bojangles tea. Again, I'm going to have to say the word allegedly here. Because innocent until proven guilty. Justice. Freedom, etc. That's why, if he's acquitted, I've also hedged my documentary plans with another idea, in case he's free. And what I've done is bought up thousands of CD and cassette tape copies of Puff Daddy and the Family Presents No Way Out. And in this scenario, you know what's going to happen. He gets the OJ acquittal, and the price of that CD is going to pop like Bitcoin over the last month. Mo Money, Mo Problems on repeat as the song of the summer. Of course, White Boy Summer 2025 will still be on. But the Skittle Suite POCs who are wrapped up in some weird entertainment industry blackmailing operation are going to have their own fun in the sun. Once Puff is found not guilty on all crimes, all charges, dropped. That's the plan. So, we're playing both sides of the coin here. Ideally, though, I won't have to use my hedge bet. I can just instead go all in on this DVD business idea. It's just some like Ving Rhames voiceover, or someone who sounds like him who will work for cheaper. We're on a budget here. He's just like, he was perched like a cat on the bed. His ass was up in the air, and a river of KY was dripping down the crack. He looked back and said, "You ready, King? Take that." Then we get into the interview portion of the program. We interview his former lieutenants. We got to get some backstory here. A real hood guy coming through, to give the criminal story some weight behind it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was up in Rikers doing a 3 to 5 year, and when I get out, one of my boys is like, "Yo, I can get you a job working." I'm like, "Cool." First, I was just running errands, and then got promoted and sent out to California. He had us up there in West Hollywood, and that's where I met my boyfriend Ronaldo. His boyfriend Ronaldo was from the Philippines. I wasn't gay at first, but you can't be in that organization for long without, The personal lubricants empire was flying high, escaping the notice of law enforcement until a robbery gone wrong. As journalist Todd, who gives a fuck? So I was following a story about a CVS truck that was boosted from Woonsocket, Rhode Island, okay? This was a massive heist in terms of lube. If you've seen the movie Goodfellas, think of the Lufthansa heist, except replacing money with KY jelly. Now, the suspect that the police arrested was a guy named Tyree Greasy Hole Higgins. He was found asleep in the truck, covered in all sorts of lubricant, as he'd already, sampled the merchandise, so to speak. But he wouldn't snitch, not Greasy Hole. He took the fall for the organization, but this was the first tip-off to the government that there was a crime syndicate out there of unbelievable size and scale. It's like Cocaine Cowboys, and the film cuts to some retired DEA agent named Mike McGonigal. This was actually our biggest find in my career up until that point in time. We had learned through some of our informants that some kind of Afro-American organization was running baby oil into the country. This was through the use of both Chinese nationals and Mexican cartels. We would just come upon these. We would from time to time find cases of baby oil floating off the Florida coast. We started calling them greasy groupers. That day, we found so many greasy groupers, you could have opened a sushi restaurant from here to Tokyo. Yeah, you young motherfuckers don't even know how it used to be out here in these streets. Police came through. Now the game fucked up. He used to have these streets swimming with baby oil. Know what I'm saying? We're talking Bentleys, Lamborghinis, with these dudes in the back getting fucked in their ass. Police didn't know nothing about that shit. We'd be paying off customs, having Chinese motherfuckers and the Mexican cartels dropping off cargo ships and pallets full of toys and baby oil and butt lotion, I remember one time he was throwing an Antarctica party. He was talking about dressing up Steve Harvey like a penguin and having that fat motherfucker from Family Matters slide around on his belly across a skating rink. He had an ice skating rink flown in and said that it was the original set from the Mighty Ducks movies. But some done got fucked up in the shipment. And the baby oil didn't arrive on time. The sex toys didn't arrive neither. And that got him pissed. He was drinking more and more melon flavored Ciroc and getting heated talking about, if I don't get to fuck Urkel and that motherfucker that played Waldo Faldo tonight, you gon' get it, fat boy. He was waving around a pistol and shit. We couldn't calm him down till we hired a Richard Roundtree lookalike to satisfy, his desires. But then, what we ain't seen till the paper the next day was that there had been an accident and the cartels had dumped all the merchandise in the ocean. with the DEA rolled in, scooped up all the baby oil bottles. They ain't know who did it. So that's just a preview of what I'm bringing to the market this summer. So good luck with your fucking TikTok reactions to the Diddy trial rumors and hearsay. I'm going to be selling DVDs like fucking menthols in the hood. And if he's found not guilty, I will personally throw a welcome home Diddy party. I can't afford the Hamptons. Okay. Maybe Virginia Beach, Myrtle Beach. Those are good options. It'll be hosted by me, Macklemore, and what's the kid from Smart Guy doing? Is he still alive?